Now, Gil, I do also want to encourage our listeners to, also go to Google. I did it today. I went to Google, and you're on there. You came right up right away. So if you put G. Magno or Gil Magno in there, you'll find information about Gil, including he talked about the YouTube information. So if you want to find more information, you can go there as well, and it'll bring you to his website. It'll give you more information on how many other people's lives he's affected. I got about probably 10 minutes left in our program today, Gil, and I wanted to see if there's anything else you wanted. Like someone who's out there right now, they're hurting, and how can you encourage someone pick up that phone to, maybe they don't have a whole heck of a lot of money. And I can see your courses are not very expensive, but how can you encourage someone to just pick up that telephone right now and make that phone call or even email you, for instance, and get started on a new life?
Well, I think one thing that holds back people from anything like this is that, especially if they have problems, phobias, and things like that, they're afraid to talk about it. Now, I'd like to tell these people that it is no longer necessary to even talk about it. In some heavy cases, yeah, I go into the past. This is, of course, using EFT. But mostly everything can be done without talking, just tuning into the feeling and tapping on these points in the body, which releases a lot of life force, and that life force goes where your mind is. So if you're holding a certain feeling, a certain thought, that sudden release of life force will blow up that mass which is there, that negativity.
Right.
So people are afraid to talk about it. The other thing is they're afraid what I'm going to think. They're afraid this is one of the common problems. What is he going to think? What are they going to think? Oh, my God. Well, in 40 years of teaching, I have heard it all. Nothing phases me. In fact, 90% of what people are ashamed of is nothing to be ashamed of. It's quite natural.
Right.
Just when I've written that in my books, and some people just lost all their guilt just by reading this. It's just that society makes everything bad.
Right.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, fear, false evidence appearing real, and that a lot of people have given to the fear, and obviously, if they have fear, they have problems. Pick up one of your books, or get your information, get the courses you teach, and don't worry about what other people think, what other people say.
Right,
Basically,
right.
just get on the horse again, and those people are going to keep on talking anyway, regardless. Even if you become a success, they're still going to talk about you.
Yeah. Well, they're actually. This is what I've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
They are afraid what I myself am going to think, as if I were going to evaluate them. Well,
Right.
I don't evaluate nor invalidate. I hear it. It's nothing to me. I hear it.
Right.
So I want people to know that, first, they're not obliged to talk about the problems. Two, it is better in some cases if they do talk about it, and I've heard it all. So
Right.
it doesn't faze me. I don't invalidate them. People are who they are. Nobody's perfect.
Right. Basically this, folks, the person behind the voice. Think about that. Your voice, your person behind that voice, your loved ones. The beauty of Gil's program is that his students are educated to address their individuality. Each applies the tools to address and release these buried guardians, and really no longer feathered. For the singer, they basically achieve a strength of voice and range really beyond his or her experience. If you're a singer, if you're not a singer, if you're looking for self-improvement, you've found the right place. You've dialed in on the right radio station, and you've dialed in at the right time. This is an opportunity right now for you to take the bull by the horns and really improve your life. Now, we have the man who's actually, Gil said he's been doing it for 40 years. So this is somebody who's actually got a lot of testimonies, got a lot of credibility that's been built up, and he's had major success. I implore you to definitely go to his site at gmagno.com. That's G as in Gil, Magno.com, and get in touch with Gil. his phone number is on there. It's all over the website. If you want to purchase one of his books today, we highly recommend you get the self-transformation course. That would be something to get started with, self-improvement.
Well,
whatever.
actually, the textbook that goes with the transformation course is my textbook called Developing Confidence and Personal Magnetism. That's what we use as the textbook.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting our listeners know that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, lots of phobias you've helped out with, people that have maybe they're afraid of dying. Do you have patients like that as well that have fear of death or fear of falling or any phobia out there? I mean, you said earlier about germ phobias. Any other phobias that you've actually been able to break through to help folks?
Yeah, like claustrophobia.
Okay.
Fear of heights, and other smaller things I can't think of right now, but there's always something. There's always something new.
Right.
Fear phobias, cat phobias, all kinds of things. Yeah, and they disappear very quickly. The biggest problem in using EFT is that the person can't believe. For example, they go home, and I tell them, okay, call me, let me know how you're doing. Call me back. They call back, says, I'm doing fantastic, no problem. Must have been those vitamins I took the day I went to see you. See, they can't, it's difficult for them to connect how a simple process like EFT can produce all these results. So my biggest problem is to get them to realize that it was the EFT that did it. But if they continue thinking that it's something else, they don't have to believe in EFT for it to work.
Right.
So, it's not something you have to believe in. It just works.
Wow.
And it works instantly.
Right.
Person relaxes right away. And, so one wonderful thing. Life is not as difficult as most people make it. Life, I say that in all my books, life is a simple matter. The only thing you have to have is honesty with self and reality.
Wow. Be honest to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The self-transformation course, which basically is really one of your latest inventions, and it says here in your bio that you can help a person become a great singer, of course help the business owner overcome his fear and become an excellent public speaker, and of course help the actor plumb the depths of hers or his psyche to continually create the performance of a lifetime.
Right.
It's really, once again, like you mentioned earlier, the person behind the voice.
Right. Once we clean up all the negative stuff, then we work through the voice itself, not singing, but speaking and reciting. That's one of the techniques. I work with the person until I see that person is being him, herself. That person is not working out of some kind of veneer on top of their personality. And that is something that the coach has to have experience. I can tell when a person is being him, herself, or when they're acting, quote unquote.
Right.
And so my job is to knock them over the head, not literally, to get them to be who they truly are.
Right. Wow. Seems like most people wear a mask most of their lives.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right. Well, we have about a minute left in our show, Gil, and we wanted to, thank you very much for you taking time out.
You're welcome.
To join us today, and want to encourage our listeners also to definitely go to Gil's site at gmagno.com. It's GMAGNO.com. And he's a musician and performer he's trained lots of people, has been a vocal and life coach, but also he's done a whole lot more, and this is something that you definitely want to encourage our listeners, definitely want to grab a hold of. So, go to his website, give him a phone call. We'd love to hear from you. I would highly recommend you put his website in your favorites. Get it to a loved one as well. If they're having a problem, whatever, or you want to help somebody out, just be nice. Go ahead and give them the website at gmagno.com. Thank you, Gil. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you, listening audience. We appreciate each and every one of you. We wish you the very best of health and wealth, and continue on. And remember, you are the person behind the voice.
Yes, very well said. Thank you very much.
Thank you.